Well, Zatima fans, the penultimate episode of Season 1. We're talking Episode 9, Blurred Lines. Na. I know you want it. I know you want it. You're the good girl. Okay. Alright, so Blurred Lines. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. This was a pretty good episode. Let me just say up front, this week, the final week of Zatima Season 1 episodes, this makes up for last week. Last week I was iffy. What did I get the episodes? Like a 7 and a 9. And honestly, episode 8 only got that high of a score because of Deja. But this episode and episode 10 had me laughing non-stop. So before we go forward, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Follow me on social media. Links are in that description box below. Hit that bell icon and select all, because just because the show is over doesn't mean I still don't have stuff to talk about regarding the series. And hit subscribe, because I don't know if I said that 10 seconds ago. I probably did, but you know, these episodes blur together in a line. Ba-doom-ch. Okay, so Zach is down on one knee. Fatima's stunned. He's like, Fatima, everybody's watching. I don't give a damn about them. They ain't the ones that got to marry you. Look, Zach, I still have a lot of questions. Look, and that's okay. We can figure it out, because without you, water is dry. Without you, the sky isn't blue. Without you, I can't eat my food. Without you, my car has no gas. Without you, Kool-Aid has no sugar. Without you, Fatima. Without you, Fatima, my shirt has no buttons. Without you. Without you. Zach turned into Luther Vandross. A house is not a home when there's no one there. Still in love with you. And she says yes. So, it's funny because Fatima looks, but y'all go back to eating y'all meals. Ain't nothing to watch. But then when she says yes, everybody's applauding. They're kissing. And Zach is like, yeah, okay. You're real. I'm real. Zatima's real. He said it! I mean, this isn't the first time he said Zatima, but yeah, Zatima's real. I feel like this moment was like, yeah, we getting to season 2, y'all. We getting to season 2. So he's like, Fatima's like, look, I'm ready for the dessert. Well, hey, this is your date. You can order whatever you want. I was talking about at home. So they decide to bounce. And it's like, we ain't paying for this. I'm thinking like, come on, y'all. I know y'all ain't dining and dashing on y'all's engagement. I don't know. Maybe one of the patrons there is like, hey, don't worry. I'll take care of the bill. But I can't recall if they actually ate anything. Because, I mean, in the last episode, Zach and Fatima were talking. Then Ian showed up. So I couldn't tell you if they actually ate. But regardless, they decide to bounce. See y'all later, y'all. And again, like I said, it's probably like, see y'all in season 2. And then the theme song. So on the drive home, Fatima's looking at the ring. She's smiling. She's happy. And let me just say, the way Fatima was depicted in this episode and a majority of episode 10, but I do have my problems with that. I'll get to that in that review. I love the way Fatima was portrayed in this episode. This had me going, see, I don't know what the freak was going on with Fatima last week, but this is the Fatima I love. She's full of affirmation. She's giving Zach good advice, and it didn't feel like she was talking down to him, but like really looking out for his best interest. So he's like, well, yeah, loving you is easy. Well, yeah, with you is not so much. Man, what do you mean? Look, you need some better friends, Zach. I know you and Nathan and Tony have been friends from back in the day, but Nathan is the real subject of the conversation here, about Nathan being miserable in his marriage. And it's like, well, that's the thing. You need to watch who you surround yourself with, because toxic people will try to poison you. Basically, poisonous people will, you play around with them, you're going to end up poisoning yourself. So you need some better friends. But and watch out for the poisonous advice. Him talking to you about us not working and things like that. So Bryce is mentioned in the conversation, like, hey, I know you ain't putting me and Bryce in the same sentence, Zach, but he mentions like, no, it's not like that. It's the fact that you two are good for him. Fatima obviously in the love department, Bryce being a positive influence, but then, or being good people. So Fatima's still skeptical, but then the situation switches to the, hey, Zach, are you bisexual question that Bryce asked him last week. And that's like a running theme in these 2 episodes. So Zach explains how it got to that, from like, you know, the whole marrying each other with, you know, his brain in your body, and then me getting dressed in front of him because I was getting ready to shower. And then Fatima's like, yeah, that is suspect. I mean, you know, me and my girls, we get undressed in front of each other at the gym and whatnot, so it's no big deal. I mean, this is the thing. I get that. I don't know. I mean, look, I did live, you know, obviously in male dorms in college, and let's see. And then, you know, obviously like in middle school and high school, you know, the locker rooms and whatnot, it was no big deal. But I think, yeah, I would feel some kind of way, like if a guy friend like got completely naked in front of me to get into the shower. Like, let's say if I did have my house, let's say I'm in my own home, and, you know, one of my boys like, yo man, what's up? Hey, good to see you. My home is your home, you know, for a few hours. We could chill, hang out, catch up. And then out of nowhere, he like gets undressed to go into the shower. Yeah, I would feel uncomfortable if that just happened out of the blue, out of nowhere. But yeah, the circumstances of Zach being drunk and it being his house in the bedroom, yeah, makes sense. I get that. But I don't know. And that's not me questioning my own sexuality. That's not it. But yeah, I would feel awkward in that situation. I'll put it that way. But it's like one of those things where when you like self-project yourself on someone else, or you try to gauge the situation. So, well, because Bryce asked me if I'm bisexual, could that be him, you know, hinting at him being bisexual? I don't know. Well, like I said, that's a running theme in these two episodes, so it's going to come out a lot. But Fatima, yet again, gives some very sage advice that sounded like it was straight out of a Tyler Perry play. Well, you know what they say, the truth is going to reveal itself in due time, you know. So we go over to Deja. Lord have mercy. Bending over. My thirst is it. I'm in the freaking Sahara Desert right now. Between this episode and next episode with Deja. This woman, Lord have mercy. So she got her hood up. She's freaking out because her car isn't working. And when Zach and Fatima get home, she's like, oh, hey, Zach, look, it's a good thing you're here. My car isn't working. I got a gig tonight. And look, can you look it over? Could you give me a ride? And Fatima's like, no, why don't you just get a drive share? Well, no, because you know, my job tonight is late, and well, they run all night. You can get a ride all night, but no, I really need my car. So, you know, like, look, do you see what Zach's wearing? No. Go upstairs and change. So, you know, Zach tries to take the purse. Look, no, I'm keeping my purse. So when Zach goes upstairs and, you know, Fatima catches him looking at Deja bending over, Fatima wastes no time in calling out for her bullshit. And basically, let me look. Wait, you know about cars? Well, okay, yeah, Zach was wearing that suit. I can see you're dressed down. Wait, excuse me? So she looks and notices the battery wires were purposely pulled out, and Deja just so happens to be holding the tools that could fix and also damage the battery. So she basically tells Deja, you got one more time to try me. And then she goes in the house. So Deja, you know, quits the act and she leaves. So when Fatima goes upstairs, she sees Zach in a tank top and shorts. You ain't going out there like that. Wait, what are you talking about? What do you want me to wear? And basically tells Zach about how about the whole scheme, and that, you know, Zach is being ignorant out of nowhere just because. And, you know, this turns to a bit of role play because, you know, look, you over there in the basketball shorts and your thing, imprint showing and whatnot. Wait, you like this, don't you? Yeah, I do. Bend that thing over. Back that ass up. So next morning, I'm like, shit. The next day, they must have had one hell of a night. Fatima's like, damn, the alarm goes off. So yeah, you must have been one hell of a, you know, first time doing it as, you know, an engaged couple. And I thought this was a fun moment because I'm like, wow, I wonder how that's going to feel, you know, if I ever meet the right woman and whatnot, to propose and then wake up together the next day. It's like our first day waking up as an engaged couple. And then hopefully, you know, down the road, our first time waking up together as a married couple. That must be nice. But, you know, Zach calls Fatima. I was like, do you always have to do that? You wake up early to put on your makeup and then go back to sleep and then wake up so I see your face like, I know you didn't go to bed like that. So Fatima is like a Scooby-Doo villain. She got a mask on. She don't ever want Zach to see her real face. So from there, she's got to go to work. And Zach mentions how he got an office space with Bryce, and Fatima's surprisingly happy about it, because I'm just off the rip thinking Fatima's going to be like, what with Bryce, that shady dude? But no, she's actually quite positive about it. Zach mentions how, you know, hey, it's 50-50, you know, that way it's not too big of a risk. It's like, okay, that's good, that's good. And I'm thinking to myself, like, even though this is probably me reaching like I always do, but doesn't it kind of remind you of Tyler Perry's Tylervision, the streaming app he wanted to create, but instead he ended up teaming up with Viacom to create BET Plus, so he's able to put out content, make money, but he's not taking the full risk of doing his own thing. Again, I'm probably looking into it too much, but it makes sense if that were the case, if this was purposefully woven into the writing. So, you know, she looks at the ring and like, oh yeah, how'd it feel to wake up like that? Okay, so she's got to get ready to go to work, and she will come by to look by the office space to check it out. And she's about to go shower, and Zach's like, you know, come on now, like, let me go in there. Like, no, you ain't coming in here, because obviously Fatima knows if he goes in there, she ain't going to go to work. And she goes in there and locks the door. I know he didn't just close the door, and I locked it too. Well, also before she goes in there, she's like, okay, well, you do what you need to do with Bryce at the office, and, you know, keep that, you know, next door neighbor in check. So after she goes in the bathroom and locks the door, Zach is like, you ain't gonna let me in? No. I bet Deja will let me in. The way Fatima unlocked that door and opened it so fast and like poked her head out, and the look on her face. Too soon? Yeah, too soon. Get your ass in here. This episode, man, it was crazy. All right, so we at the law firm, and I think, is it Kelly? Is that the name of the woman at the front desk? But either way, the woman at the front desk, Fatima, you know, checks up with her about her submission to Mason Labs. And she tells Fatima, oh yeah, about the DNA results. They should have the results by this afternoon. Side note, we don't find out the results until the end of episode 10. So Angela comes up, and they talk a little about the business venture that Bryce and Zach have together. So during their lunch break, they're actually going to go and check it out for themselves. Now, Zach, you know, he's dressed and ready to start his day, so he's going to his car to meet up with Bryce at their office. But Deja's out there. And smoking that tweed and everything. It's weed. Oh, hell. So, yeah, she's high. So she wants to apologize for last night. And it's like, you know, she's watching us, right? And I'm thinking to myself, the way you're talking, it's like you and Zach are doing something wrong, and you're just lumping Zach in there. So it's like, yeah, we need to be careful. Fatima's watching us. And then Zach is like quick to call out, look, you need to stop with that. You're high. It's like, you shouldn't be smoking out here like this. You know, the kids in the neighborhood, the kids, they smoke too. Hell, I got this from some of them. So, I heard y'all fucking last night. Wait, what? Oh, yes, daddy, yes. And I was using my vibrator all night long listening to you too. So Zach, he's like, he's fighting temptation. We can clearly see that, because he, like he said last week, I value my life, because he knows Fatima will fuck him up. And, you know, first it's Deja, then it's Zach. They're both going to end up buried. So, oh man, Zach gets in his car, and then he's like, no, come on in here with me. Come on, come on. And he like stops the car, and I'm thinking, Zach, what are you doing? He gets out, takes the blunt out of her hand, the joint out of her hand, you know, smashes it, you know, stomps on it, and then leaves. And Deja, like, look, Deja, get in the house, get in the house. Then she takes her high ass into the house. Well, actually, as she's going in the house, Nathan pokes his head out from around the corner. What the hell's going on here? So she tells him to go in the house quick. And then, you know, I think she looks behind her and she waves somebody like, hey, like, you know, maybe she sees one of the neighbors asking like, what the hell's going on there? So Nathan is brought into the apartment, and she offers him a drink. I'll admit, Deja's setup is actually pretty cool. So he hands over some money, and he's like, man, this is, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm just paying to hang out with you. Don't think of it that way. Think of it as a therapy session. So turns out that the whole plan is for Zach to see Deja and Nathan together, and by doing so, that will convince Zach to make a move on her. And, you know, Deja's like, wait, does he always talk to you like that? Well, no, we boys, we go back. So basically, you know, Nathan is explaining the dynamic they have together. So then she gets on top of him and starts, you know, making out. And I'm thinking, how much money does it cost for one of these therapy sessions? I saw Nathan hold, you know, a bunch of 20s, and I'm like, I make good money just selling trading cards. That's not even counting YouTube. So, I mean, if I got to sell a Charizard or something to get that little therapy session myself, minus the drinking and the blunt, because I don't smoke or drink. Hit me up, Deja. I mean, is this a Deja Daddy moment, or do you treat all your clientele with the money like this? And I can't swim, so I don't know about the hot tub either. But either way, yeah, oh, anyway, back to the review. Yeah, review. At the Office, Rise Ventures. Awesome sign, by the way. I mean, I was a communications major, and I suck at graphic design, but I was more of the public speaking guy, not the one who could do graphics. But I can help come up with concepts. I love the logo for Rise Ventures. But it does get hilarious after this scene when Zach is like, look, this name and this logo got a whole different meaning now. So Bryce asks if they're cool, and Zach's like, look, we're cool. And once again, Zach shuts down any hint of, look, you know, I'm not bi, you know, you asked the question, I gave an answer, and that's pretty much it. We need to let it go and start looking at our properties and, you know, everything like that. And look, instead of going to my office, let's just stand out here and look over the properties and whatnot. And like he said, yeah, this name has a different meaning now. So Zach just in a huff goes to his office to get the laptop. So in a somewhat lengthy scene, which in part could be like, Jeremy, maybe we should get the episode in 8. Nah, because it all blends together. All right, so Fatima and Angela are on their lunch, and it looks like they're driving to the Rise Ventures office space now. And from there, the conversation switches to, wow, look at this steering wheel. And that's Fatima's hint for Angela to look at the ring. Wait, you got engaged? Yeah. Wait, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. And then here we go with Angela being kind of passive, like, you know, she knows something, but she's not saying anything. But Angela says, well, hey, Fatima, I just want you to take your time. And she's like, well, hey, you do the same thing with Bryce. And, you know, what do you think about bisexual men? I think they're cool. I don't think I would date one myself, but hey. And okay, you sure Zach isn't bi? Okay, what's going on here, Angela? You about to make me wreck this car. Bryce has been quiet, and, you know, did Zach act weird or anything towards him? And then it's like, Bryce talks about Zach a lot, and it's like, well, I don't think Zach is bi because, you know, I'm sure he's straight, Angela. And I mean, is something up with Bryce if he's constantly talking about Zach? Well, I gotta say, I've been meeting a lot of Bryce's friends, and all of them are gay. Red flag, or should I say rainbow flag. And then Fatima's like, look, well, Zach told me that Bryce asked if he was bi, and then Angela starts putting the piece of the puzzle together about, you know, oh, wait, you know, that night where Zach was drunk and Bryce over there helping him out. It's like, yeah, you know, he was, well, Zach mentioned the whole getting married thing, but it's not what you think, Angela. It's like, you know, his brain in my body, then he got undressed to go to the shower. Wait, is that the same night that he was hard as hell when he came over to the... No, don't tell me he was thinking about Zach. I don't know, but, you know, we'll find out. And then, you know, Angela's like, well, yeah, he is younger than me. And then, you know, this generation these days, I don't know why, but I really like that line because it is relevant because, you know, today's generation is, I guess, and look, this leading into the next episode, I've made it clear before, like, Zach, I'm not confused, I'm not bi, I'm not gay or anything, and I'm not homophobic. So I'm going to be very, like, careful with my phrasing here. But yeah, today's generation is more, I guess you could say, open. I feel like that's the safest phrase to use here, or a word, like, you know, open to experimenting. Like, you know, it's not always a what you see is what you get kind of world we live in, because that is, yeah, I feel like that's an accurate depiction. So, yeah, it really was a good line. It just really showcases, kind of like what I mentioned in the assisted living episode when Philip helps Reggie and Benny look up Anastasia's ex-husband online. You got the older generation, but you got social media savvy younger people like, oh, you want me to look up something about this old dude to figure out more about him? Let me do it real quick. Ding, 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 ding. So, then we get to the final scene. Zach and Bryce are standing in the hallway space between their offices looking at the computer properties while Bryce is still looking at Zach. And, you know, the conversation blends like, you wait, I'm not too close. No. Look, Bryce, you're fine standing right there. We're looking at this property. Let's say, so do you think it looks great? Oh yeah, talk with Valerie. She already put in a bid. And okay, what do you think about the reservation costs? Like, oh, that's all you. You got the connections. Yep, that I do. So this isn't weird. No, it's not weird. It just looks a little funny. And then, yeah, I like it. You like me, Zach? Yeah, I like you. Yeah, whatever. Well, I like you too. So then he goes in for a kiss, and then Zach drops the laptop, clocks this dude in the face. Bryce goes down. Angela and Fatima come in like, what the hell? And the episode ends. So yeah, this episode was wild. Let me just say, before I get into episode 10 review, if I were Zach, I would be pissed off. I mean, Will Smith, no, I'm not talking about Chris Rock, but there was that one red carpet event he was at overseas, I think, and the reporter, like, you know, went in for like a hug, and, you know, Will gave him a hug, but instead the dude like kissed Will on the cheek or whatever, and Will like, you know, shoved him back or hit him or something. And it's like, yeah, that was messed up. Like, that was a clear violation of space and whatnot. And I think for me, what really messed me up about the Bryce situation is Zach has made it clear he's not bisexual. Not to mention, you know, I'm not into men at all. I'm with the pussy. And that's quoting Zach from last week. So the fact that Bryce completely violated Zach in that moment, he deserved to be punched in the face. No, I don't think it's homophobic to say that. I think regardless of orientation, gender, whoever, if somebody does that to you, invade your space and whatnot, I'm not saying they need to be punched in the face, but I don't feel bad for Bryce because he got what, you know, was coming. That's all I'm saying. No pun intended. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Believe me, there's a lot more to talk about regarding the Bryce thing in my episode 10 review. But do you agree with my score of a 10 out of 10? I thought it was cool. Like I said, even though the engagement scene was great, I honestly forgot about the Ian shit from last week. But overall, that scene was a great way to kick off the episode. And this episode did put me in a good mood. The Bryce stuff was kind of weird, though. So, thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the final episode review of Season 1. I sound like Dragon Ball Z. Next time on Zatima, the season finale. See, Zach. Okay, I'm done. So, catch you in the next one.